Welcome to Homework Lib.
All right, this question here has two parts. We're going to start with A, which is something you're going to have to partially do on your own here to type in your equation into the y equals of your graphing calculator to be able to see generally what you're looking at. But you want to make sure your x window should be between 0 and 35. So I'll just draw an arrow here. Between 0 and 35 is a minimum. You might want to go a little bit more to the left and to the right of those, so maybe like -2 to 37 or something like that. But that's going to be able to show you all of the potential x-intercepts of this problem. So that should put you in a good spot to see the majority of where the graph is changing and generally the shape of the way it looks. So for part B to this question, they want us to factor and then talk about the relationship here. So I'm just going to start with this just by writing the original. 4 times x to the third minus 220 x squared plus 2800x. So first thing that I notice is that there is a GCF to pull out. So as you're factoring, you might want to set this equal to 0 as well just to prove you're factoring. They both have a 4 and an x in common in all three of these parts or terms of the question. So you pull out the 4x, what's left behind is x squared as you factor it out, minus 55x, and then plus 700. So as you continue factoring, you should notice that the stuff in parentheses here is a basic quadratic. So we can factor this like normal. We will have to know some of the factors of 700. So you probably don't know those off the top of your head, but the easy way to find factors of a larger number is just to go in your calculator and do 700 divided by 2, divided by 3, divided by 4, and so on until you build your factor tree. And obviously throw out all the ones that do not give you whole numbers. So I'm not going to go through all that process because that's just some calculator work, but you'll notice that when you divide 700 by 20, you end up with 35. So that's our special group right here that I'll write over here on the side. 20 times 35 is equal to 700. And luckily this middle value, our b value in this quadratic, is 55. So this tells us that we can use this 20 and 35 combination to factor this quadratic. So we're going to be able to break this down nice and easily now that we know the special factor pair that works. So we put an x in both the parentheses, put one of the factors in each of the parentheses. Now we want to make sure we put both negatives here because -20 and -30 will add up to make -55. But also they multiply to make a positive 700. Negative times negative is positive. So this is our factored form of the equation that they asked us for. And they asked us like what that relationship means between, the original equation and the graph that we saw. The relationship is that the factored version shows us the zeros from the graph. You guys should notice that there's a 0 at 0. There should be a 0 at 20 and another one at 35, which is why we set that window to be between 0 and 35 at the minimum. You might want to push it past that point so you can see a little bit more.